everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies.
And this is the first video in a long time where Safi has sat on the wicker chair instead of the bed to do the review.
Because our cat is always sitting on the chair,
Yeah.
and he has gone to bed on the couch.
Yeah.
So
it's just funny. It's weird.
So anyway, today is episode 7. It's called Guacamole, or mole, but it's mole, like whack-a-mole.
Guacamole.
I thought it was going to be that way, but I just didn't know what to expect, how it would look.
This is a good time to mention that we have had a mole in our apartment.
I went out in the back, and I looked at the... You're talking about an animal that only eats bugs.
Yeah, apparently. I didn't know that.
He doesn't eat people food.
Yeah.
He doesn't eat grass or leaves. He eats bugs only. And so he gets lots of worms, underneath the ground. And so I looked over in the corner. We live in an apartment building. I looked in the corner, and there are the boards are kind of chewed. Now, I don't know what caused that. But it's like down the line, it's chewed a little bit, but you're talking about a concrete base underneath that. So I have no idea how this thing got in there.
What happened was...
No clue.
I heard all these sounds. I have really good hearing, really good vision, really good sight, basically really good everything. I'm pretty much a full package. But I heard these noises and I thought, do we have a mouse? And then I was able to capture this little creature on video. It's really scared of me. And it turned out it was a mole. And so we thought it disappeared, but I don't know. I don't even know what it's doing. I don't know where it is. I don't know.
And I don't know how it's alive. There have been some bugs getting in.
Yeah, there was a
window somehow.
Big bug earlier. It was like a huge ant or something. It was huge. And
so
I
the
killed
mole
it.
still has, but it's not. And I don't know if it can get back outside.
I don't know.
Like, did it come in because it was cold? But how did it... I just can't figure it out.
I'd like to make friends with the mole.
Well, the thing is, moles have something in their saliva that if they bite you, it will you'll be in so much pain. You'll have to go to the ER. I know somebody who was walking out in their backyard with bare feet, and they stepped on one of those, and they were so frightened they gave them rabies shots. But I don't think that was necessary. But they did it. She was from South Africa, and she was visiting, and she was in so much pain though. And but I read in reading about that they have something in their saliva, and I don't think it bothers anything else but humans. So it's not that she would have died of poisoning or rabies or anything. It's just the fact that she would be in so much pain. I don't know what they did to help her feel better, but anyway, I remember. I'll never forget that. So.
I'll never forget this episode of Hell's Kitchen. Oh, whoops! I probably will, because this season is not that good. And so this is season 24?
It's season 24, episode
7. And this episode, I am not liking the show. I told Safi this before we even started watching the episode. I don't like these people very, very much. I like the red hair, the Henry guy. I like him. There's I think maybe one woman that I like. I don't know. But most of them, I do not like them at all. The women's team is so bad. It reminds me of the men's team from season 15 or 16. I can't remember which one that was, but it's the one with the guy who cheated on his fiance or wife on national TV with another contestant, and it was really, really cringeworthy. He was like cuddling her on national TV. It was so bad. That men's team is like notoriously, and that's funny because that was the season I started watching Hell's Kitchen, but that team is like notoriously the worst, or one of the worst teams in the history of the show. And this women's team, they are competing for worst team. I despise the team. What do you think, Safi?
Well, I don't know. The men's team is not any much better.
Well,
it really isn't. I just think the women's team lost a person not because they got sent home. The men's team had lost so many people. Chef Ramsay had to pick somebody from their team to fill their loss up. So they lost a really strong player. So they seem to be, I don't know, I was really confused. The woman from California, who is Lisa, she just, she wasn't very strong tonight. She did, one thing is, I don't want to get to that yet, but
yeah.
She just, the people, I don't know, they just seem lost without this woman who went to the other team.
It's really bad.
So, I mean, that's in general what happened. But they started out with this Guacamole.
Yeah.
And what they did was you had to get in the middle, and you had a bat, and you had to up popped these little avocados, and it said something you would need to cook a dish. And they had these, I guess they picked in advance what each person was going to cook on each team. So there was a skirt steak, there was shrimp, there were, I don't know what else. Oh, maybe lobster, and so on. And so then when they had this Guacamole where you had to bat, and you had to make sure you batted it good to where it made a dinging sound and it counted, to get the ingredients that you wanted to go with it. And the title or the subject of the night's dishes was Mexican, which I thought was ironic.
Why?
Since of everything that's happened, but I mean, they didn't know it was filmed a long time ago. Mexican food.
Mexican food.
Yeah, they cooked Mexican food
see,
for the people in the restaurant.
You know what's interesting is that I think it's ironic because, you know, when I get a fortune cookie at a Chinese restaurant, it turns out to be a little ironic that it says something that might be true or not. You know, it's just kind of, I mean, we go to the Chinese place and I go there. I get the Chinese food. Very ironic. Very ironic.
So anyway,
I'm just kidding.
they already had the pairs. Everybody was already paired up. I don't understand how they did that. Maybe they decided in advance. It seemed like they did. So I've written down all the pairs, but they would both of them, whoever did the Guacamole and hit the ingredients, they were the ones, they were the other person who was standing out there, they didn't get to do it. It was just the one at the pair in the middle that did the Guacamole. They were the ones that picked the things that they hit with the bat. So the other person who was the other person on the other side was having to rely on what they picked. And so they all had to make these dishes, and it had to be Mexican oriented, the flavors. And so they had a chef, a visiting chef. Her name was Gabriela Camara, and I never heard of her, but I guess she's really famous. And
I've never heard of her either.
And she, so she judged, and there was nothing about...
She was very low-key compared to the guy from last week. She was very nice.
Yes.
She was very mellow.
And supportive.
And
honest.
And
really.
now, I want to take a quick moment to talk about one of the special contestants. And that contestant is Cara Marie. She is a vegan and quite possibly an idiot, because at the beginning of this episode, there was a very strange moment where they were talking about how Jada was put on the men's team, and Cara Marie, always ready with the words, had to say something that was quite possibly the most cringeworthy line in Hell's Kitchen history. And I quote, "I think in every kitchen there always needs to be a woman so that she can tell the men what to do." Cara Marie said this in a fit of craziness and insanity, and it seemed like everyone agreed with her, even though what she was saying was just complete bullshit. And that really put a bad taste in my mouth for this episode, because I don't like it when people say such weird things.
Well, the reason why she was inspired to say that, and it's Chef Ramsay's fault. He said that, what's her name?
Jada.
Jada had to go over there to, I don't know what the exact quote was.
Be the alpha or something?
Yeah, be the alpha.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
That is really weird.
Because here he is, he's a male chef.
Well, there's nothing
wrong with that. There was no female helping him go over the line. He did that all in his hard work by himself.
All by himself, yeah.
So, give me a break. I really thought that was stupid.
I think that
didn't
Gordon...
like that at all. I thought that was worse, actually.
Well, I think that Gordon has gone really too far this season. I don't think he wants to do these shows anymore. I think that he resents doing them because what he said at the beginning of the season, which is he can't be with his family all the time. I think that he resents having to do these shows, so he's taking it out on the contestants, and he's taking it out in such strange ways. He's acting so much meaner than he did in the last couple of seasons, in a way where he's very unfair, I
thought that was bizarre.
Yeah, and but that whole thing, it was really, really strange with Cara Marie had to say such a weird thing. And then, what was it she said in the challenge? Didn't she say something weird in the challenge too?
It was the very first time she'd ever got anything. What
Cara
happened
Marie.
Was the woman, Gabriela, she didn't have this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was either give them a point or don't give them a point. That was it. Yeah. So Cara Marie got a point tonight.
For Cara Marie, she brought up a dish. And like all the other dishes tonight, didn't look very good.
Well, I was going to say, I don't even know what she made.
That was the name of the dish.
She was up against Anthony, and they both got a point.
The judge was not very excited about either dish, but she decided to give Cara a point, quite possibly out of a little bit of pity for the vegan contestant. And then Cara Marie got onto a confessional, and she was very happy about her meager point. And nonetheless, getting one little point wasn't enough to save her team, because the women's team this season is just terrible, and they lost anyway. The end.
Okay. Well, anyway, we have... I don't know if you all want to really hear all the people, but Alexandra, the one we've been talking about.
Yeah, what happened with her? I didn't pay attention.
She actually got a point versus Henry, who also got a point.
Oh, beat that.
So I thought that was interesting. And then Anaya.
She's gotten a point every single episode, right, Alexandra?
I think she
every
has.
Single. And they. And I this is the reason why I don't like the women's team, is because they're like Mean Girls. And the way that they're treating Alexandria, she's gotten a point every single episode and every single challenge. And still they're treating her like shit. And we'll talk about that later on.
Well, she also gave a very interesting tip about Chef Ramsay if he doesn't like something, and I'll bring that up near the end if you remember, unless you remember it.
I think I do.
But anyway, Lisa went up against Jada. They were the last two, but Lisa admitted that Jada is really good, and she really respects her, and she talked about how she respected her. And Jada ended up getting the point over Lisa. And I think this is the first time Lisa has not, this is the one from California, had not gotten anything. In fact, tonight was probably, I think, her worst service.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about it in a while, but let's see in a bit. But I'm just looking at the rest.
I don't think there's anything else worth mentioning.
No, I don't think so either.
The women
the
lost.
Blue team, the blue team, who's the men, and of course Jada, they won.
They got to have a Mexican meal and then have a pool party, and then did they have anything else? I can't remember.
No, they were at there.
Okay.
They went to they have a place called the Scorpion Bar at this resort, and so I'm just calling it the Scorpion Bar Pool Party.
You know, there's a big emphasis on this show about alcohol, and to me, it's kind of interesting because what if they had a recovering alcoholic contestant on the show? How would they do that?
I don't know.
That's
at least they're not allergic in terms of like
that's an
not being able to breathe or
interesting thing though.
Breaking out in hives or something.
Well, there's a lot of alcohol. Like, oh, you win a challenge, you get alcohol. If you get a black jacket, you get alcohol.
I think it's an Eastern thing. I'm not sure.
In the finale of the show, let's open some alcohol to celebrate the winner. And so, what if there's an alcoholic contestant? What's going to happen?
We're not going to have to deal with that now, but
it's a good question.
I would say that Cindy,
nobody's talked about it except for me.
On the women's team, she's the one that has Crohn's disease.
Oh, okay.
So, but they all seem to like her. She had trouble cooking the scallops, and then what happened was she was at the scallops she was cooking, and then for some reason Lisa put butter in there, and she knew it wasn't supposed to be in there. Now you're talking about somebody, Cindy, who she has a very strict diet because everything makes her sick to eat. So she is really kind of aware. I mean, even though she had trouble, I don't know why, it doesn't seem like she had experience cooking scallops. That's what I gathered. I don't know. But she was a little worried about it. Which is kind of weird. They've been cooking scallops for weeks. But I think they rotate. So like 1 week, you're on the meat station. The next week you're on the garnish station and so on. So you're not on the same one all the time. So I don't know if she's going to make it or not. Because I don't understand what happened with the scallops.
No.
But I don't understand why Lisa, who seems to be extremely experienced and knowledgeable, because Chef Ramsay had told them weeks before, he said this in the episode, not to put butter in there. And when they took them up to the front to be included in the service out to the customers, he noticed. And Cindy had noticed, and she even said something. Why did you put this butter in here? You're not supposed to do that. And she's probably not even supposed to eat fats. So that's why I'm saying she's very aware of what's not supposed to be there.
And in general, the women's team undercooked most of the proteins. They undercooked chicken, undercooked pork. Which I actually had a little thing with that for, I think it was Halloween. For Halloween, we didn't know what to cook. We decided to cook some extra pork chops that we had in the freezer. And I cooked them, I thought, pretty perfectly. I have a system of cooking them, but there was a little tiny part of my pork chop where it looked pink. And I was really worried that I was eating like raw pork, but you know what's funny? I just ate it anyways. Because all of it was white around that. Like, everything else was white, and it read 160 to 170 on the thermometer. So But it is tough to cook pork, especially, I mean, the pork looked pretty thick, too. But pork is really good. I think that pork is underrated. So, but it was just really sad. You know, the women's team, it just didn't seem like they were a team. It seems like you have certain people, a.k.a. Anaya.
And Anaya, I want to say she was on the meat station.
She's the worst.
And there were multiple problems with the meat.
Yeah.
And she was also bitching at everybody.
Yeah.
And she didn't even get nominated.
Yeah, somehow she did not get nominated, but Alexandria did. Alexandria had a couple little errors with garnish, but she did not do anything that was, like, majorly wrong. But, you know, since the women's team is so, like, they're such, like, mean girls, it's like a mean girl clique, they nominated Alexandria and made it to where, oh, now she has a third nomination statistically. Now she has that on her record, even though she didn't deserve to be up at all. And I'm also surprised that Gordon didn't mention that. There was a really good part at the end where who was the one who talked about it? Who talked about Anaya and how if she were Gordon, she wouldn't want her to be the head chef of anything, of his kitchen?
I think it was Cindy.
Yeah, she said that. She said, look, this Anaya bitch, she's crazy. She wants to make everything about her. She wants to be the leader of everything. She won't take responsibility for her mistakes. And that's what happens in the episode, by the way. They were talking about, like, who should be nominated, and as soon as Alexandria dared to speak up, Anaya started having a temper tantrum, and so Cindy said, if I were Gordon, I would not want her to be in charge of my kitchen. Yeah. I would not someone like that to be in charge. So, yeah.
Okay, so, and then at the end of their service, they actually had to leave.
Yeah, they got kicked out.
But I didn't see what it was. I think I had to go up to the kitchen and put something in the sink, and I could hear what was said, but I didn't get to see. But right before, he asked the women to all come up there. This is the Chef Ramsay, and he had a towel over a plate. And Alexandra said this was her tip, which I never heard anybody say this before, but maybe Marco has.
Nope.
That when he puts a towel over a plate of food, that means there's something seriously wrong with it, and that he's gonna, he's out for blood.
It was raw chicken and raw salmon.
Oh, okay.
So, Anaya and then Cindy, I think, were the problem chefs. And they got kicked out. And then the men's team, they had some fumbles here and there. Like, to be honest, like, whenever things are just kind of like steady, like on the show, like nothing too bad happens, I don't really get that invested in it. Like, I'm not like, oh, well, then that guy undercooked that meat at minute 41. I don't get like that, but like at the end of their service, Chef Gordon, he was like, okay, men, you did a terrible job even though you finished. And it was brutal. That's what he was like. He was very disappointed, even though they finished the service and the women got kicked out. They did horrible. They didn't do anything right. And so the men had to come up with nominees as well. Both teams lost.
Well,
so
for the
once
men,
again,
for the men, John, who I don't
John.
think he's done well the whole time.
Safi doesn't like him. She has a bias against him.
I think he's been like the guy they kicked out last week. At least he hasn't. I don't think he's blamed other people like that guy did.
Yeah.
But he just he gets caught up in himself. I don't know, like, if you're cooking something or you're doing something and you just kind of freeze and you can't move forward because you're just kind of like frozen. He kept, and I hate to say it, I'm sorry, but he's kept fucking up the French fries of all things, and they were all like, what are you doing? I'm talking about 3 times right in front of Gordon Ramsay. So Gordon knew about his fuck-ups. There was no hiding or behind somebody else. He knew that he did him. He made one, they were supposed to put Parmesan cheese on the fries. So first I think he gave him fries without the Parmesan. And then the next one he gave him with too much. And then the third time they weren't cooked enough or something like that. But he brought him up to Gordon. Gordon looked at him. So, I mean, there was no mystery. There was no mistaking him for anybody else. He did those mistakes right in front of him. And so I'm like, he's got to go home. And then Henry, I guess, he's the one Marco likes. And I say he's one of the best guys because
I'd like to see him in the finale. I think he's a decent chef, and
he's from Texas.
He's not a bad person either, like some of the other people on the show. So
he's a father, so he has some kind of family at home, and he didn't cook the pork chops properly. I don't know if they weren't cooked enough,
undercooked or overcooked. There was one that was overcooked, I think.
So he might have done both, under and over. So at the end, they did finish the service, but like Marco said, he said they did badly too, which I think he's talking about the fries. I mean, screwing up fries when you're supposed to you're trying out for the head chef of the resort restaurant.
I think what he should have done is he should have sent one woman and one man home, because
that's what I thought he was going to do.
The women did the worst out of both teams, obviously. I mean, there was no mistaking that. But then I think he also could have done the thing where he's like, wait, I'm not done. John, get up here. You messed up the fries. You're gone. I think he could have done that. That would have been better. But then, as we said before, the women, they decided to pull a bullshit nomination, and they nominated Alexandria for some reason. And Cindy. And that was just like... And it was really bothersome, because I'm really getting tired of people in this season of the show, like, blaming other people. Like, every single episode, when a team loses, like, people on the team are, like, blaming other people, like, just not taking responsibility. And then for the men, it was John and Henry. And Chef Gordon sent home John. But what's really sad is that since Alexandria got nominated for no reason again, she had to say something that's definitely going to get her sent home, like, in the next 2 episodes, which is, if I'm up here again, you can send me home immediately. You know, like, she should never have said that, because, like... You know, Safi, like, that's basically like,
You'll remember, too.
1 foot is out the door, you know?
Yeah. Well, she, like we have both said, she's not going to make it to the end.
Probably not, unfortunately.
She needs to do something else. I mean, we think she should be an actress.
But she is a good cook. She's won every single challenge.
I know. But I don't know. It's weird.
Her team doesn't like her because I don't know why.
Well, no, she did that thing at the beginning, which was very disrespectful.
That bitch deserved it.
No, she did not.
Yes, she did.
She gave this woman... the woman got kicked off.
I wouldn't have done that personally.
Well, that's not appropriate behavior.
But, you know, I can do that at home all I want. I mean, I'm flicking off Safi right now. You know, so, and here I'm flicking off my computer, you know, but, like, if I'm on a reality show, I'm not going to do something like that, like, but like, I guess she's just very emotional, you know, which you're not supposed to say anymore, I guess. But,
well, whatever, she shouldn't have done that, and everybody saw it, too, and they thought, oh my God, who is this stupid person? I mean, why would she be so... childish.
I thought it was kind of funny.
It was childish and disrespectful. We have somebody in the government who's been doing stupid stuff like that.
She deserved it.
And
she deserved it.
You just don't do stuff like that.
She deserved it.
And they just thought, you know, if you're not good enough to be a chef, then you go. And that's it. And the other woman, she didn't argue or plead. she said, okay.
But she blamed Alexandria. She tried to put the blame on her. And so she didn't like that.
We're talking about the woman who blew up a microwave in home ec in high school.
God,
okay?
Safi.
Well, I just want to make clear about who that was.
I just want to make clear.
So, I don't believe any of the other contestants, male or female, blew up a microwave in their high school cooking kitchen.
Have you blown up a microwave, Safi?
No.
Why not?
We don't need to do that.
One time at home, I accidentally put tinfoil in the microwave, and I took it out after a couple of seconds, thankfully. Whoops.
So anyway.
I give this episode like a C. I mean, I really don't like the contestants. I don't like the nasty mean girls. So, yeah. I'll give it
a C too, because I didn't,
C plus for me.
I don't get Gordon by. I mean, he could have sent what's her name, Jada, over to the men's team, but not said that. I thought that was inappropriate, and he's a man, and he is a, what do you call it, a Michelin star chef.
But alpha is a gender neutral term, Safi.
It's queer. Okay?
No, it's not.
She's helping, and she's a strong player, and they needed somebody over there who was strong.
So she's an
they were
alpha.
weak.
She's an alpha then, and they're all betas.
Who cares? Why even say stupid stuff like
because
that?
in this world,
It's for
there's
TV.
There's a couple types of people:
That's
alphas, betas, and feminists.
Oh God! Just don't even listen to that BS. But anyway, it's just, and I don't know. Marco sent me a text when it was almost over and said, "Chef Ramsay is delusional."
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
Oh, when I think it was when he was blaming the men's team, and he was at the end of their service. He was like, "Wow, that was brutal." I was like, "Really?" Like, the women's team literally got kicked out, and like, yeah, the men's service wasn't great either. But like, was it really brutal? Like, he was being very
Yeah, I agree.
over the top there.
Yeah, that was over the top,
I
because
didn't
if you
like
think
that.
about it, the only meat mistake was Henry. Henry's screwed up the steak, and then but the French fries. Well, that's a story unto itself.
I don't like Cara Marie either, so you know.
Well,
Nobody likes Cara Marie.
I wish I would have paid attention to what she cooked, because she is a vegan and she had cooked meat. And because this was about a Mexican dish with the certain, what do you call, proteins that they picked, and then with the other things that they hit with the guacamole, they had to use those ingredients. And so she was able to do well enough that the chef picked, gave her a 1, which she had not. This is the first time she's won anything. She hasn't won anything on her own. So
she technically didn't win; she tied. So
yeah, but I mean that's better than getting a 0.
well, but anyway, so that episode just wasn't that great, and yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I like are the hex-clad commercials with Gordon. They have this. I guess Fox has some kind of space show.
Chef Gordon.
And they integrated Chef Gordon into it with hex-clad pans, I believe. And then tonight there was a commercial with him showing up at somebody's house and showing them how you cook on the hex-clad pan. And I thought that was fun and interesting, but it's just some more work that he has to do. They're not going to do that hex-clad pan in one take. It's probably going to take a few takes, and so it's more time. But that was another thing, and I did mention it at the end of the episode, when he was like sending people home, or trying to decide who was going to go home. He kept looking at his watch over and over again. And
Yeah, I
my
didn't
God,
like that.
if any of these people
It was very
had
rude.
done that during the service or before or after in front of him, he would have had a fit.
Yeah, like, oh, is your time not valuable? Is our time not valuable to you? Oh, I see what's going on here. Do you have somewhere else to go? You need to go somewhere else, little boy? Like, that's what he would do.
He would too.
He would have kicked them right out of the show.
We've watched enough of his shows to know he would have done that.
Yeah, so I didn't understand that.
I didn't either.
I thought it was kind of gay.
Well, the only thing, last week, it seemed like he rushed off too. Well, he did, because his sous chef was the one that told the men to go pick somebody. Not Gordon. The sous chef did. The sous chef for the men's team. And then he was gone. He was off somewhere. I think he was off talking to Buddy and his sons. That's what I think.
Hey, Buddy, how's it going, Buddy?
I think they're going to do. I wouldn't be surprised. Everybody watch for this, okay? To see if Gordon does collaboration with Buddy on something.
This is what happens, Safi.
Oh, hey, Buddy, I'm Chef Gordon. I like to eat your cakes.
And then Buddy's like,
Hey, Gordon, I'm Buddy. These are my sons. How's it going, Gordon? How's Hell's Kitchen going? It's a crazy show.
You forgot the British accent. Anyway.
I can't do a British accent. Safi doesn't even remember in 4th grade when I wanted to be the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland. And then I got the most bullshit reason ever, which is I can't do a British accent. And then the other kid couldn't do it either, but
I was going to say they didn't do one.
his mom was, it was a Robbie, and his mom had favoritism, and so that's it. Safi's got to bring up the British accent. Fuck the fucking British accent. Fuck. I'll fucking learn to do a fucking British accent some fucking day.
I could be wrong because they didn't show that.
Fucking British.
But I thought it was really weird how Buddy and his son sat so close to the kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, like we're almost right on top of them.
I've never seen that before.
No, I haven't either. I mean, they'll talk to people who come to visit. And, they've had sports people, all kinds of people. They had that week they had the New Jersey, I think, housewives, those housewives shows. And, but Buddy and his boys were right up sitting at a table right by the kitchen. They could almost see just about everything that was going on. And I thought that was interesting, and I think Gordon wants to do it. We'll watch for that in the future, see if they do a collaboration of some kind. Maybe Buddy will show up to the MasterChef show, and he'll do a cake thing or something. Like decorating a cake, and I'll have to do that too. Who knows? He doesn't just cook cakes. I mean, that's what his specialty is: desserts, cakes, baking. He also makes Italian food. We have the recipe book, one of them. I think there's more than one, don't you think?
There's one that it's all desserts.
Oh.
We have the one where there's entrees and stuff, and I have cooked a pizza that everyone loved, and I have cooked risotto, and everyone loved that too. So he's a great cook all the way around, and that's it for me.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. So both of us gave it a C. I can't give it I don't want to give it a lower grade, but I don't want to give it above that either. It just doesn't deserve it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become one of our subscribers. We have 754.
Look, I'm Chef Gordon.
Yeah, I know. Looking at the watch, I want to watch Lawrence O'Donnell. So he's not on tomorrow night. This is the last night of the week he's on.
Is Lawrence in the room with us right now, Safi?
No, he's in the studio getting ready to do his thing. I don't know what he's going to do.
He can take a chill pill.
So anyway, Don't forget to check out our Patreon. What would you call it? Membership. Marco has been building up extra videos to watch. Plus, he has a new movie. It's a short. I reviewed it today, and you really want to see this because he can't. He has some formatting issues. He has an old computer. He needs a new computer because there just comes to a point where you can't do the newest thing if your computer is a certain age. It just won't allow you to do it. And so there's several things now it doesn't even allow him to do. So he's actually using one of my other phone that I was using before the one I'm using now, and I don't know the numbers, but it's several numbers under the one I'm using, and to watch Master Chef, which he could have done on his computer, a while back, but now he can't. So anyway, that's it. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye.